All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am
afternoon.
going to call the August 11th, 2026 Central Tennessee Regional Solid Waste Planning Board to order. It is 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And with that, Mr. Secretary, will you call the roll, please?
I shall. Mr. Greg Mitchell.
Here.
George Gannon. Not here. Blake O'Neill. Lyndon Russell.
Here.
Got it. Aaron Gore, I'm present. Donna Barrett.
Present.
Matt Davis.
Present.
Joe Whitefield.
Present.
Ron Lee. Here. Josh Roberts.
Here.
And Hayden Bryson. Present. Okay. We have 8 out of 11. We have 4.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. You all have in front of you a packet for the meeting. Before I get started, for those in attendance, we have a sign-in sheet for public comment. If anybody would like to sign in for public comment, you'll please do so, and we will call for that later on in the meeting. But you must have signed in order for the public comment. With that, again, gentlemen, you have a packet for tonight. Front page is the agenda. If you'll look over that, after review, the chair will entertain a motion to accept the agenda.
So moved.
We have a motion by Greg Mitchell. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ron Lee. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Second item in your packet is a copy of the minutes. And for those in attendance, this information was mailed out to the members in advance, so this is not their first review of it. So the minutes are before you, and I will, after review, I'll entertain a motion and or any amendments to the meeting minutes.
I make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is that Josh or Ron? Josh a second. Any discussion on the minutes? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries and minutes are approved. I would like to give an update on those minutes, if I may. It doesn't change the minutes, but this is for our minutes for this meeting. One of the items from the meeting minutes of March 25th, 2026 was the annual progress reports. And we had made a motion by Matt Davis, seconded by Nolan Ming, to approve the APRs as submitted with Coffee County's approval contingent upon receipt of the county commission resolutions by March 30th, 2026 to meet our deadline of those being submitted. And I'm pleased to say that that was submitted to us while we were in the meeting. I had that and submitted it in properly to the state. So every county submitted all the documentation to us in a timely fashion. We are now well on our way to having that happen every year, and I want you to thank all your counties for diligently getting that information to us timely. So if you could reflect that in the minutes for this meeting.
Got it.
Thank you. All right, next item on the agenda is the financial report. Next item in your packet is a copy of the financial report. Actually, after the minutes, it's the second page there. Disregard the statement following the minutes. We'll come back to that. Your financial statement shows two different things. The first column is the pilot program of Recycle Right to TN. Unfortunately, at the time of putting the packets together and getting the financial statements out to everybody, we did not have numbers current from the last reporting of February 26th. I do have those numbers current now, and I'll give that information verbally. I will update the financial reports, and they'll be included in the final packet for this meeting, and they'll go out to each of you individually as an updated financial report. So I'll give that in a moment. The board operating account numbers are accurate. So our beginning balance for the board operating account was $8,339.31. After member per diems, we have a balance in that operating account that should reflect 8/11/26, not 3/25/26 on that report. Our ending balance of $7,468.33. Now, the correct numbers for the pilot program, we had a beginning balance of $2,858,010.63. We had income of $112,567.33, expenses of $103,908.92, with an ending balance as of June 30th, 2026 of $2,862,370.39. So I am pleased to report that we have operational monies for that program. And the expenses that will reflect on the updated report you received within 24 hours are the usual and customary expenses as you've seen on this one in front of you. It's expenses for our office staff and then advertising. Those were the expenses we incurred for Recycle Right for this last expense period. I will stand for any questions on the financial report. We have a motion by Ron Lee to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Pat Davis seconds it. I have a motion and a second. Are there any discussions? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Financial report is approved. Excuse me, I'll see if there's any public comment sign-ups. Mr. Secretary, nobody signed up for the public comment section.
Got it. Thank you.
I want to, next item is an update on Recycle Right TM. I have here some publications to distribute. We discussed them last month, our last meeting, of the things we were advertising in, starting with Rutherford County, and then any that would reach out to the other 3 counties. So there you'll see 3 publications that we were in, as well as the palm card that we have going out for that. For those of the audience, if you're interested, we have a palm card of our education website, recyclerightn.com, and it lists the ways, what can be recycled and where to recycle in our 4 county regions. So Warren, Coffee, Cannon, and Rutherford all have the several hundred places where various recycling efforts take place and things can be collected out. The things I'd like to update for Recycle Right is, since last board meeting, our Facebook views are up 1,679% with 83,000 views. The engagement with posts and comments and shares are up 2,829%. Our followers are up 34% to 1,331 followers. The age range for those followers, 24%, yes, not 24%, 94% of our followers are over the age of 35. So we are hitting that good population of homeowners, settled individuals that are looking forward to how to manage life post-college, post-education. We started a Facebook ad. We began that on May 21st. And from that ad alone, we've received 63,945 views, 1,198 follows or likes. And we've reached 21,973 people in Middle Tennessee. The top 3 areas are Nashville, Murfreesboro, and Clarksville. And our cost for that was $410. So I'm pleased with the efforts that we've put in with our marketing, just in that category on Facebook, and the results that we've gotten from it. On the next page, you'll see a sample ad. This is what we're running in Murfreesboro on the local WGNS. It's a static ad, but it follows and pops up throughout on their website. This will be a similar ad to what we start running here in Warren County with Main Street Media. We'll be starting those in 1st of September is our goal launch for that. You also see the next page is our QR codes. We now have those designated for the purpose. So our palm cards have one QR code, and we can track how many of those are viewed and opened. Our Recycle Rutherford, I'll discuss those events a little later. That's a specific event that we do. We hand out cards for that, or advertise on their website for our website. We have just a general palm card that's handed out, a new residence guide that you have seen, the advertisements for it. Inside each advertisement, we embed a QR code, and it's specific to that publication, so we can track how successful we are with the opens on those. So that would be in our new residence guide, our livability magazine, and the welcome magazine that you've just seen. And then finally, for the new residence guide, we have the numbers from July as to how many, this is in Rutherford County. If these exist in the other counties, we will now implement those in there. But again, our test case was Rutherford to see how well the efforts were in the outreach. So the new residence guide, which goes out to those that we know are new residents moving in, or those that request information from our Chamber of Commerce because they're going to be new residents in the area. July alone, we reached 1,074 new households with our information regarding that. The majority of those being Murfreesboro and Smyrna. So, and Asia continues her normal day-to-day activities that we discussed last board meeting. And with that, I will stand for any questions regarding the marketing material you've seen.
Everything looks positive. That's,
I will elaborate now on the recycle roundups. We have 2 of those scheduled. For my Rutherford County folks, you will remember back earlier in the year, we partnered with Tennessee Environmental Council to do Rutherford Roundup. And it's basically hard to recycle items, bulk items, pharmacy, medications, mattresses, electronics, as well as some other just general things, cardboard and like. And they held that in Rutherford County quite successfully. We offered to participate and sponsor that only if they would also do one in Coffee, Cannon, and Warren. We now have ours scheduled for for Cannon and Warren. So October 3rd, we have the recycle roundup in Cannon County scheduled. And then October 10th in Warren County, we have our roundup scheduled. Right now, we're hoping to talk to the state and align the hazardous waste pickup on that same day, so we capitalize on efforts. But very pleased to know that we're bringing that now to these other 2 counties. And I'll turn to the 2 representatives from those counties to give me any additional information or ask any questions regarding that, as well as the
we're
rest
just
of the
very
commission.
excited in Warren County to be putting that on. That'll be our first time ever doing it. We're very excited for it, and we look forward to some big numbers.
Goes great for us. We've had it last little while, about every year, so it's really awesome. People really appreciate it.
And I have to give Cannon County some kudos. Prior to this year, they had not been collecting glass. And through our efforts with the board here, we put them in touch with CFC. And several tons of glass have come in from Cannon County. So we are very pleased with the efforts of that. Again, that falls back to the mission we have here, is to help the counties with their recycling and diversion efforts, and efforts that are anything before landfilling. So
Tons.
you were a great test case, and
It was great.
thank you.
We started that as well at 3 convenience centers out of our
Been good.
12, and it's been excellent.
Wonderful. I look forward to those numbers.
We look forward to expanding that throughout the county, but we've done a trial area at the 3 largest, and it is working out.
Wonderful. Before we get into the task force, we have some, I should have started this at the beginning. We have some changes taking place. Josh, you've got some changes coming up in your county. If you'd like to introduce your new solid waste director.
Yep. Here tonight with us, we got our new solid waste director, Ms. Tanya Harriman. We're excited to have her here. I feel like she's gonna do great things, and we're all behind her, and we're just right down the road when she needs us.
Well, she ground her teeth in Rutherford County, so
Yeah.
she ought to be able to handle you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we
That's right.
have new member, Lyndon Russell.
Yes, Nolan Mean has accepted a position in Joliet, Illinois as deputy city manager, so I'm filling in.
And you're the solid waste director for McMinnville?
McMinnville, yes.
Wonderful. Any other new changes anybody would like to? Great. All right, we'll move on to item H, which is the State Solid Waste Advisory Task Force update. As you know, the General Assembly formed a private-public task force that will run for the next 4 years. And their goal is to find a long-term solution for trash disposal diversion in Tennessee. They really want Tennessee to be the leader in trash handling, and then come up with what is the best practice that we can have not only in the state, but maybe even implement nationwide or be the beacon nationwide. I will tell you, we've already had states reach out to our two chairmen, Chairman Chris Todd from the House side and Chairman Shane Reeves from the Senate side, asking what they're doing with the task force and wanting to follow along and potentially mimic what they're doing. So we are setting the standard already. Let's just hope we can make it through the push. As part of that task force, they set up a recycling and diversion advisory board. It went active. It went into effect July 1. We just received most all of the board member appointees yesterday. And that board is to review 4 of the internal departments with TDEC that handle recycling, diversion, and the like, and give us an opportunity to really dig down and look at those departments, see what they have to offer to the table, what improvements may need to be implemented, and just move forward with that. So that board, and I'm pleased to say I'm on that, will report to the task force. Our first update will be December, 1st of December of this year. So I will keep you updated on that. I think the information we get from those 4 departments will be very beneficial to our board and other regional boards within the state. I need to breathe. Next item up is a legal update. We have our legal counsel here, John Rogers, and I'm going to give him a moment to give us any update that he can. We will not be going into executive session. Nothing we have to discuss requires executive session. That was on there just a preliminary if we needed it. And I will also give Darren Gore, in his capacity as city manager, to give us any update that we need to know on actions there. So, John?
Thank you. Great news. The board is not party to any current lawsuit at the moment. So my update's going to be really short. We were in the process of a lawsuit involving TDEC most recently, where we joined with the city to force an interpretation of some TDEC regs, and there's some collateral litigation with the city that paralleled it, City of Murfreesboro paralleled it, and they had some successful results there, so we didn't feel like it was necessary to move forward with our TDEC lawsuit, and so we have been lawsuit free for several months now, which has been a change over the last 4 years.
Darren?
Well, I don't know if I was really, I'm looking in my emails to see if there's anything I need to really share here. I do know that we dropped the lawsuit against TDEC, right? And because we received the, what's it called? The mandamus, writ of mandamus from, was it Davidson County, Chancery Court in Davidson County, that said that the TDEC was operating outside its authority to allow for a vertical expansion of Middle Point landfill to bypass the Central Tennessee Region Solid Waste Board. So if my expectation is if they want to continue that permitted expansion vertically versus what they were calling a contour modification, vertical expansion, that it would have to come before us as a central region to approve it. And that was what the whole lawsuit was about, is that they bypassed the board. We never got to consider that expansion. They went straight to TDEC. TDEC stated that they believed it was within their authority to approve the vertical expansion, and the court said it was not. It has to come back through us. So don't know if that's coming to us or not, but that's pretty much the process has to be followed per the Chancery Court. Anything with regards to our ongoing lawsuit with Republic and the Federal Air Quality Act and the Federal Water Quality Act, that's still ongoing. Depositions have been made, and I think county has been brought into that lawsuit, Rutherford County. And we will look for, I guess, a certain court date next year sometime, I believe. I'm not sure the exact schedule. Things can kind of keep getting pushed, but it's going to happen, I think, within the next 8 to 9 months, somewhere in that time frame. I may be off, but that's proceeding.
Any questions or discussions regarding our legal update? All right, before we move on to the next, I want to back up and add just a few notes that I failed to include. And to that, in your package, you also have a resolution regarding waste away, waste diversion, place to come and present. So it is with great pleasure that I asked Waste Away to come and present their proposal. We all have known the name Waste Away for a while. It's been right here for years. What we all also know is that an end result for waste is not a one-stop shop, and it's not an easy solution to get to. We've all been working on it for years. So I admire a company that has stuck to it and keeps trying and reaches a point where they think they have a solution for us. I will tell you that I never expect our state to be the guinea pig for something. So when Waste Away came with their most current rendition or expansion of their plans, I said, send me somewhere that I can look at it in operation. We're not going to be the guinea pig. We're not going to be the demonstration plant. I want to see the process working somewhere. And then partner with Waste Away had a facility in California. I went last month and toured that facility. And as you all will remember, one of the biggest problems we have is we can get the waste converted to something, but then we have to find somebody to take something that is converted to. In California, and this partner that Waste Away now has, I watched trash go from the tipping floor to a digester of sorts, make the ugliest mud bath you'd ever want to see, converted to gas, then converted to electricity, and go into the grid of San Luis Obispo's power supply. That was quite a feat, something we haven't seen in a while. We haven't seen. So with that, I said, all right, come, let's talk to the board. And at the request of our board members, we want them to present to us for us to consider as the resolution has before you, giving the counties in our region our support in moving forward with this. It's part of our duty as a board to find these solutions, and we can't start if we don't start talking about it. We can't stop. We need to stop just talking about it and make some steps moving forward. And once they're finished, we can have more discussion about it. But with that, I would like to introduce Charles and David from Waste Away, and you have the floor.
Thank you. We don't let Charles do much technology. Sorry about the young guy. I'm going to start. Most of you heard the name Waste Away. We've been around here for a long time. Our sister company, Bolden Lawson, started in McMinnville in 1959. So Waste Away hasn't been around that long, but we have been a long time. And I have to echo what Donna just said. You can process solid waste, but what do you do with the product that comes out of it? So initially, when we started Waste Away, we processed this material and we made soil amendment out of it. And this was great soil amendment. We had it tested by the Corps of Engineers, didn't have everything drove. Nurses around here were buying it. The problem with that, the price that you can get for the soil wouldn't cover the cost of making it. So it's not just being able to find something, it's find something that sustains the operation so that it can stay in business. So at one time, they worked with the Corps of Engineers and came in and then Patel Laboratories, and they said, why don't you look at the fuel value of this material? This is like make really good fuel. So they tested it and they decided it's very good fuel, okay? And one of the things so we started looking for markets, and Charles has been to every cement company in the world, literally, and trying to create a market for this material. So that's the thing that we've always done. So we make a great product, who needs it? So we've spent our time. So I came to work for them about 6 years ago. I have a background in anaerobic digestion, pyrolysis of material and torrefaction, which is another thing, just it's how to recover energy from feedstock. So basically cellulose, okay? We've done wood-fired boilers, I've done everything in garbage except for landfill. I refuse to build a landfill. I've not ever done it, but I don't like them. I don't believe in landfills. I think there are alternatives. So when I got here, I looked at the material, I said, this might make good feedstock for a digester. Well, 6 years ago, it didn't make sense. So because of some of the incentives that have come out, and including biogas now in the, basically the ethanol fuel program, we qualify for some federal subsidies. And I hate to say it, but that makes it work, okay? So we have looked at creating a market for our material. And that market is way more than we thought it would be. If you look at what we make, when we were making material for the compost, we had to submit reports to the state every day. After about a month and a half of submitting reports, Mike Apple called up the plant and said, quit sending me reports. They're not the same every day. You're just Xerox copying them, which we weren't. And Mike came up with this expression that we used to love to say, fluff is fluff is fluff. Okay, because we used to call it fluff. We've gone way past that. We have better marketing people now. But so this is our plant that we have. We have a processing line that we put in to take out things that we don't want to make into fuel. So what we're trying to do is maximize the cellulosic material that comes to our plant. It goes to our new process named Cellulator, which converts this material into a very stable, pathogen-free, consistent BTU, consistent size, consistent color material, which becomes now feedstock for multiple things to do with it. And we now have found uses for this material that are economical, beneficial, and actually will cause, will make this work. Now, when we did this, we raised the capital cost of the facilities considerably, okay? It's easy to just make the compost, but when you start bringing in other alternative uses of the fuel, the situation gets a little bit more expensive. This is kind of a thing we've seen. These are all things that rely on cellulosic feedstock for making. Sustainable aviation fuel, diesel plants. There's even now working on renewable gasoline, which is a product we haven't even talked about. But so, all of these things can come out of what we make. So we have started partnering, and we spent over a year, close to 2 years, studying the biogas production from our material. We've had 2 digester companies that studied it, one for a year and the other one for a little over 6 months. We're almost finished with that second study. The stuff makes really good biogas. It's high quality, good methane concentration, very low contaminants. It's really high quality material. So much so that the company that we've been working with, she went to see the plant, is offering for us to be their exclusive supplier of front-end processing going forward. This is a company that's a $5 billion a year company. That's validation for what we've done. It feels good. It's not in reality yet, but just to have somebody that has that kind of resources to say, what you make is what we need. That validates all the work that we've done for the last 20 years here. And I know you guys have done, we've been around, I know there's been a lot of stories about waste, not gonna do it, it's gonna do it. So, but we have decided that we are going to build a facility here at our plant that exists in Morrison right now to take in municipal solid waste. We're going to convert it into our material, and then we're bringing in 2 technology providers to take the end use of this. So what Donna said, we're not finding a user, we're bringing the user to our site. We're going to make renewable natural gas. We're going to go through the digester system that she looked at out there. And a digester makes 3 things. It makes water, it makes solids, and it makes methane. Those are the 3 things that come out of a digester. What are you going to do with the water and the solids? Okay. In this particular case, we're going to take all the water and put it back into the process because our material is too dry as it sits to use of their technology. So that leaves the solids and the gas. Well, the gas we're going to convert it into natural gas in the pipeline you're going to be getting out here in your town. So that left us with the solids. And so we're going to make a lot of solids. So what are we going to do with it? So originally we looked at making it into fuel and selling it to a cement kiln. And that worked. The numbers came out. And I think, Darren, you were involved in some of that we were doing. And so we said, well, what can we do that's better than that? I said, well, I know this technology that's in East Tennessee. Why don't we talk to them? They make cellulosic diesel. Well, cellulosic diesel is a product that is exactly like our fuel. When we make our fuel, it's a drop-in fuel substitute for wood or coal. It's inert. It's what you said a while ago. When it goes in garbage, when it comes out, it's not garbage. So it's totally inert, and it's been approved by EPA. So you can take a wood-fired boiler and not change your permit. You can bring our material straight to it and not have to change your permit, which is pretty significant, because if you try to burn garbage, you don't even want to go through the permitting process. It took me, the first waste-to-energy plant I worked on, it took a year to get the permit. And that's with the backing of the state that wanted it to happen. So, this is a very significant finding that Waste2Waste spent 5 years getting the work. A lot of laboratory testing, a lot of submitting to EPA, a lot of legal to get this letter that says this is a fuel that can be used as a direct substitute. Well, that's the same thing with the cellulosic diesel. They have taken the time to prove that it's exactly this. Well, it's actually a little bit better chemical composition than petroleum because of the higher cetane number. And those of you that think about diesel, that's a little bit better fuel than it is. Actually, I've had it independently tested by a company that was looking at buying some of the diesel from the plant in East Tennessee. And they came back and said, this stuff's better than what we got from the petroleum company. It's got less contaminants in it. So we were looking at now creating products that have a market. There's obviously established market for natural gas, and there's established market for diesel. Those quantities are easy to sell, okay? We just have to find somebody that needs 6 million gallons of diesel a year, and there's a lot of those out there as well. But the natural gas is going to go into your pipeline. It'll stay here, and the local gas company is excited about doing this. They really are been great to us in terms of their cooperation. So we know that we can sell the commodities. So what makes it economical is environmental benefits. Okay, so there's a program based on ethanol where I don't know if you all understand ethanol. They get paid to put ethanol into gas. Okay, farmers love it because it gives them a crop that they can count on the cash flow from every year. It's a good market, it's a good thing, and we get green energy out of it. So they've done the same thing, they've expanded into other fuels. There's about 8 different types of fuel, but these two qualify for what they call RINs. And RINs are renewable identification numbers, which the EPA has. If you produce a RIN, you can sell it. And this goes to people who have to have alternative energy. So there's a certain baseline every year that has to be renewable fuels. And each fuel has its own standard. So RNG goes into pipeline. Somebody's got to be buying transportation CNG somewhere for it to qualify. These molecules won't make it to the CNG station. I'm sorry, you can't run natural gas backwards like you can electricity. But the diesel will actually go to the market. It'll be loaded in probably tanker train at our site, hauled off. Okay, and so that will actually go to the end market. But so we have 2 products, and those numbers, the subsidies by the government makes this a very attractive facility financially. So we decided to commit ourselves to build that plant at our facility that we've had here for 20 years. We got a building, we have a permit to take in solid waste. We have an existing air permit that we have to expand because it's limited to what we can put out. And so we're already starting the permitting process. We've hired permitting people to do that. We've started the preliminary material to need to go to our EPC contractor. We've already talked to them. We've already talked to people to sell the natural gas and the diesel and environmental credits. We have a couple of proposals for both of that. So we're putting together all the pieces to do what Donna said. Make the product and then figure out what you're going to do with it. We're going to do it all at one place. That's our goal right now. We are missing one area. Okay, if you see up here at this top, the first thing that goes in is municipal solid waste. That's the keystone. We need something to convert into cellulosic materials that we can make diesel and we can make renewable natural gas out of. And that's what we're working with solid waste. You can do wood, it's easy, but this is what a lot of people consider to be the holy grail of this industry. And the reason we got so far down this road is we were talking to people that made renewable natural gas, such as Canada. We're talking to people that made diesel. We're talking to people that made sustainable aviation fuel, SAF. All of them said the real problem with cellulose is it's not consistent. It's all over the place. The moisture content varies, the BTU content with species is all, it's just, there's nothing ever consistent. Well, guess what we make? Very consistent cellulose material. Every ton that comes out of the cellulose is exactly the same as the ton that came out before. I don't mean close, okay? It's the same chemical composition. The reason that is we take out all the things that we want to take out. We put in there the same material every day for every ton. So every dime that goes in there, it's not anything different going into our cellulator than what comes out of it. So we control the chemical composition going into it. There are some other technologies that try to do what we do, but they're a batch process. They put everything in up front. So they're stuck with all the contamination. Everything's there. We take out things that are not going to be good. And so that's why we qualify as a cellulose fuel, because we're more than 70, almost 80% cellulose. So cellulose is paper, cardboard, packaging, food, trees, anything that came out of a plant is a cellulose product. And this material, we transform it by actually exploding the cellular structure of the material. That's what our cellulator does. It goes in as garbage, it comes out as very small particles. We didn't bring any with us. It's consistent in size. It's always sterile because it's under pressure. So it's in there long enough to be sterilized, so you don't have to worry about pathogens coming out, which you would have to do if you had a solid waste. So I made RDF a long time ago. RDF is just shredded garbage. Okay, that's all it is. We took a few things out, but this is not garbage. So what we've done here, so we have made that decision that we're going to expand our plant. We have committed half the equity required for this facility. We are currently discussing with 2 or 3 other groups right now for the equity and 2 or 3 groups for the debt service on this facility. It's not going to be cheap. It's going to represent about a $200 million investment, which we are making in this county, in Warren County, and we're making it our plant. So we looked around and we said, well, we got a building. It's a big building. We don't use it. He said, nice sewing plant there at one time. I understand there was 400 people that worked there at one time sewing. But it's sitting there. Why don't we use it? So we're going to use that. We already have a permit. We've got to do a lot of the logistics of getting trucks, this many trucks in and out of it. But that's why we hired engineers. They're doing the traffic study for us. They're doing a study of our building. They've actually come out and are creating as-built drawings of our building, which we don't have. So we can see where things can go and get our rate. They're going to help us put our, where's the best place to put everything so material flows from place to place to place. And we've also taken the time to hire, to partner with companies that can provide guarantees. So our sorting line, we designed sorting line. We have a patent with it. And that sorting line we took to a company that has over 300 sorting lines running right now. So can you build this for me? And they took 6 months for them to figure out that I didn't want to take things out. I wanted to leave things in because they're in the recycling business. Just get this out as quick as possible. We don't want to get it out. Let's take it out, but let's put it back. So after 6 months of trying, they came back and said, okay, here it is. And they sent us a proposal. And we said, well, we need guarantees. They said, well, we'll guarantee throughput and the amount of material we take out, the percentage of what comes to us, we'll take out. I said, okay, that's pretty good. So we went to Canada, which is our partner on the digester, and we said, all right, guarantee the gas. They said, let us test it. So for the last 6 months, they've been testing it. And they will now give us a guarantee on how much gas we'll make, the quality of it, and they're also going to do the conversion to RNG. So they'll guarantee how much gets into the pipeline and that it meets the pipeline specs. They're a $5 billion company. So these guarantees mean something. And then the diesel company all 3 of these companies are Tennessee companies. Canada is headquartered in Knoxville. We're here in Morrison. And then the other company is just outside of Knoxville. But they also have a performance guarantee through an insurance company, the largest insurance company in the United States. So they will provide a guarantee on the quantity of diesel and the quality. So we're not taking a lot of risk on the products not being sold. That's something that I'm not gonna do. And you're not gonna, we're not in the risk business, okay? We're not gonna spend $200 million, well, it didn't work. You know, that would be foolish on our part. So we're making sure that this thing will run, because I think that's a concern that everybody has to have. If you commit to bring your waste to us, you wanna make sure we take it. We've had this tell us several times. If I'm gonna give you 140,000 tons, you gotta take it. I don't want it back. So we don't want you to have it back. But there will be a residual, about 50% of what's in our plant will have to go to the landfill somewhere. And without even expanding middle point, I think we still put it there if we had to. But again, you know, it's one of those, we'll find a place for it. But, so what we have come to everybody here is we like to sign letters of intent with as many of the people that we can in this area. We'd like to start this facility in our hometown. We'd like to give the people in our hometown the benefit of the first plant. And again, because of the economics now are good enough that we don't have to have a very, very high tipping fee. In the past, we were looking for facilities that we could get $100 ton tipping fee. Well, Tennessee's not $100 ton tipping fee. That's California and the Northeast. That's the two places where they are. And so we have come back, and Charles can talk to you about that. We developed a letter of intent that we want to distribute to everybody, that we'd like to have executed, just to start the process toward getting a contract to bring in somewhere between 140,000 and 150,000 tons a year. And under that contract, for the first 5 years, we're going to set our tipping fee at $25 a ton. It'll stay constant, won't move, it's changed. And we at the end of that, we're going to raise it to $45 a ton, which will stay at $45 for the next 5 years. And then after that, it'll go on at just an inflation rate. We think that's very competitive, even for Tennessee. In fact, we think it's cheap, okay? And we're doing that on purpose here, because we want to get this first project built here, where we are, where you are, all the people that have put up with waste, we've been here for the last 30 years, as I said earlier, but we've been here a long time. And it's time to reap the benefits of our work, and it's time for the community to see the benefits of it. You guys add what you want to do.
Well, real quick, I just want to thank you guys for having this posted tonight, for giving my voice. But what you're doing with recycling and diversion is already exciting, and we are not a competitor to that, we're a complement to it.
We don't want your glass.
You know, you keep doing what you're doing, and we'll take what's left over. And as David said, we'll give you an 85% diversion on everything that comes to our facility. I want to introduce these guys a little bit, because David Collins is our VP of Engineering. He has a background in anaerobic digestion. He wrote several books for the US EPA. One book. If you read it, you would think it was several. He's got a strong background. He's done hundreds of millions of dollars of projects in his career. Has something to do with his age, I think. Sebastian is a young engineer that's been with us now about a year and a half, time flies. And he right now is in charge of leading the charge for the manufacturing of the new sale letter that we have. So it's exciting for us. We hope it's exciting for you, and we'd like to be partners with you on that. You want to show them the Long Beach facility? This is a facility that we're partnering with Canadivia that David mentioned, anaerobic digester company. Right now, we are in 7 projects with them in the United States. We open new markets for them because they can't take the material that we take and make the feedstock for them. This is the artisan rendition of the project in Long Beach, and this project is actually under Canadivia's name. We're providing the waste-to-weight technology for that, but they signed a letter of intent with them for 6 months, and to make sure that we meet all the regulations with Cal Recycle, and that project will move forward as well. But, hopefully, this one's going to break ground first, so we're planning to break ground in November, right? Yeah.
At least signing contracts will do it.
Yeah,
There will be work out there. A lot of engineering between November and start ordering, hope to order equipment and sign all contracts.
Our goal is to start taking garbage August 2028. Between August 28 and December 28, the anaerobic digesters will be functional, and it will be at full capacity very beginning of 2030. That's the goal.
In the meantime, so we're, I don't know a lot of in construction, but you don't like to run a plant while you're building it, that's what we're gonna have to do. Because we have to take in waste to start the digester. So if we start taking your waste, you're not gonna want us to say, well, bring us 20 tons today and 50 tons tomorrow. So in this process, the diesel plant will be running at full capacity. So we will bypass that material directly to the diesel plant until such time that we're in full operation. So when we start taking your waste, we'll take care of it. So we may still be under construction, but we will be taking in waste for both of those processes. So our system will be fully operational by the end of August 2028. The diesel plant will be ready to go. We will start making both. So we won't make a lot of gas for 4 months. It'll be 4 months where we have an appreciable amount of gas. But we will make a diesel at the same time. So, yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any questions of the presentation? Thank you.
Thank you. I'll leave my cards here in case anybody needs.
Short of Mayor Mitchell, County Executive Mitchell, we have no executive level there. We have no executor for the counties on our board. So the actions and nor do we have that individual county action that we can take. What we can do in our capacity as a board is strongly support moving the ball down the court. And I think that we have an opportunity to do that with this facility. In addition to the efforts they've put in for the last 30 years, their doggedness of not giving up, with the efforts that City of Murfreesboro and Darren have thoroughly explored the engineering aspect of that, and have already entered into a letter of intent, my understanding?
Yes.
So that support, that confidence that the city has for that bids well for this board. We have a member that brings that experience to it. And then what I saw in the tour, it gives me confidence that this is something worth pursuing further. Again, this board cannot and does not enter into letters of intent. But what we can do is encourage our counties to do that with the necessary due diligence. So all of you received a resolution that was drafted on Josh's request for support as his county was looking at this. You've had that. It's resolution number 26-001. For the benefit of those in attendance, I won't read it into the record because you have it and it will be part of the minute packet. But I will hit some highlights so that those in the audience know what we're discussing. So this is a resolution supporting the continued evaluation of waste diversion technologies and the use of non-binding letters of intent to facilitate further discussion and due diligence. That's the title of our resolution. And past the whereases, which just give us the background history of our board and of waste away, what the board, this resolution states, or we resolve, is we support the continued investigation and evaluation of the technologies. We provide support for non-binding letters of intent at the individual discretion of our 4 counties. We make no commitment. This resolution this resolution or any letter of intent contemplated by this resolution shall by itself create any obligation for a county to proceed with waste away or any proposed facility. It preserves the county authority, preservation of county authority, so it does not supersede or interfere with the independent legal authority, responsibility, or discretion of the governing body of any county or municipality within the region. It preserves the procurement and competitive process, so we're not violating that, overriding it. It does not constitute the selection of waste away as a vendor. or give waste away any preferential status in a subsequent procurement. It requires due diligence on behalf of any of our counties for all legal, technical, environmental, and financial considerations as may be appropriate. And it should not be construed as a finding or representation by the regional board that waste to waste technology, proposed diversion rate, financial projections, environmental performance, proposed facility, and other representations have been independently verified and determined to be feasible. And it does not diminish the responsibility of any county official to fulfill all applicable fiduciary, financial, legal, and public responsibilities before approving any binding agreement. In my view of this, and as I'm passing a vote for, if we choose to take this resolution up tonight, we are not voting to select waste away. We're voting that a technology claiming this level of landfill diversion deserves sufficient investigation to determine whether the claim is technically, financially, and operationally viable. Any county that chooses to explore it retains its procurement process, its due diligence responsibility, and its complete authority to say no. Our job is to help the counties find solutions, find alternatives. And I believe this is a good first step for that. And with that, I'll stand for questions and comments.
I'll just make a comment. We spent about a year and a half going through a feasibility study. Actually, it was more of a bench testing. Waste Away had done some lab testing at the University of Wisconsin. Showed that this stuff could produce a lot of renewable natural gas. They had just gotten their EPA letter that designated this as a non-hazardous secondary material, so it was a coal that would drop in, could be used for boilers. When they found out it could generate the renewable natural gas, I said, well, let's look at that and see if we can go to a pilot scale and if it still generates. So we actually packed garbage from Murfreesboro, shipped it to Waste Away. They put it in a package and shipped it to Belgium, Europe, and we generated gas in anaerobic digesters over in Europe. And it generated the amount of gas that the laboratory projected. And my concern was what happened to the material that came out after the gas was generated. What did you do with that? And at the time, they were going to dry it and send it to Boozy. The cement kiln still had a great thermal BTU value, and it was good as a solid fuel. Had a great carbon intensity score. The cement industry other than landfills, the cement industry is the highest methane carbon producer in the world. So what's new here is they're saying now they can take that leftover material and make the biodiesel or the cellulosic diesel. So I've always believed that the technology worked. It's worked. I mean, I've got a report in my office that took us a year and a half to generate. It's always been about the funding and what the tipping fee was going to be, and if it was competitive with other landfill tipping fees. Obviously, Murfreesboro, we get free, so it's difficult to compete with free. But at the rate they're proposing, that's basically $3 per month per resident for Murfreesboro, and it's a recycling program in my opinion. They're diverting 85% of the solid waste, and they're recovering all the ferrous metals and the aluminum. So I'm in. They're not asking what they asked for us. Where it failed in Murfreesboro is they were wanting the revenue bonds to be geo-backed. They wanted the general obligation, the debt power, the borrowing power of the city of Murfreesboro to back the revenue bonds, and we were not willing to do that. In this particular instance, I don't think that they're asking anybody to put anything at risk from a debt issuance issue. It's a $25 per ton deal. If it doesn't work, I don't necessarily know that there's a problem. We go back. I mean, there's landfills still. Maybe landfills can become the contingency plan, and this can be the primary plan. I say all that to say, if they figured out the funding aspect, that was where it stopped in Murfreesboro, and so that's why we decided to sign off on that letter of intent. Because I do believe that that the process works and it does what they say it's going to do. So I'll stop for any other questions or comments before I make a motion. Oh,
I hear no
that's it?
discussion.
All right, well, I know that you kind of went through everything, so I'm not going to repeat that. I'm just going to ask that the board adopt resolution number 26001 that supports the continued evaluation of the waste diversion technologies and use of non-binding letters of intent to facilitate further discussion and due diligence.
I second.
So I have two motions in the second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries unanimously. Gentlemen, thank you. This resolution and information, once you get all the official signatures on it, I'll send to all the county mayors and to your solid waste directors, or you if you're in the room. Again, make sure the due diligence is done. This is by no means a blanket acceptance of this, but it says move forward, do something, look at something. We've got to make some progress. We either rule it in or rule it out. And this is a process to rule it in or rule it out.
I will be happy to share with you all the report that I have in my office. It will put you to sleep.
How many pages?
I don't know, it's 200-300 pages. Not that bad.
That's light.
Lyndon has a city council meeting he needs to get to.
Yes, I do.
Okay, the next few information is nothing, so you're perfect to leave. Old business, I have nothing on the agenda for old business. Is there any old business anyone needs to bring up? Our next meeting date will be at the call of the chair. And short of giving our congratulations, our condolences to Josh. You're still on the board. Congratulations on your new role.
Thank
You survived the elections, start that September 1. Without further discussion, the meeting is adjourned, 6:30 PM.